Hi dear students, we are discussing the lesson The Gentleman of Rio in Medio. In my previous video we have discussed about from first paragraph to sixth paragraph. You know very well about Gentleman of Rio in Medio, Mr. Don Anselmo, the old man. He sold the land to the American people. He sold his land to American people. His total land was 8 acre. He sold for $1,200. When American people sent to a surveyor to survey the land, when the surveyor surveyed the land was not 8 acre. It is twice almost as told before. But when American people came to meet Don Anselmo to give additional amount for additional land, Don Anselmo refused to take. He didn't take the money from them, and because he told that I told only $1,200, that is a fixed amount. I do not take more amount, and he took only $1,200 and went away. And now, what happened after? What will happen after from the seventh paragraph? Now I am going to discuss with you. A month later, my friends had moved to Rio in Medio. They had replastered the house, pruned the trees, patched the fence, and moved in summer. After a month later, my friends went to Rio in Medio. Whose friend? Author's friends. Who are they? American people. Who bought the land from the old man, from Don Anselmo? The American people went to their new house, went to their new land. What did they do? They had replastered the house. They made their house properly. Where the house was broken, they replastered properly. Prune the trees. Prune the trees means they cut the trees properly, decently, looking beautiful. The trees branches were ground, shelter and shelter. They cut them and made the trees beautiful to cutting the branches of trees, and patched the fences. Where the fence was broken, where the fence was collapsed, they patch the fence again. Do you know, you know very well about the fence? Fence means the boundary. For example, fence means in Kannada bailey. So they patch the fences. Where fence was destroyed, they patched properly. And moved in summer. They moved to summer. One day they came back to the office to complain. After one day they came back to office to complain. Who came back? American people came back to office to a complaint. What was the complaint? That the children of the village were overrunning their property. They came every day and played under the trees, built little plays, fences around them. The children of that village. Which village? Rio in Medio village. Children overrunning their property. Whose property? American people property. Don Anselmo when sold the property, that property completely possession of the American people. So of that village, Rio in Medio's village, children are overrunning their property. Overrunning their property means they are coming to in their land. They are coming in their land without taking permission. These people, without taking permission from the possession owner of the land, they are coming into the land, and what they do? Or they came every day, played under the trees. They played under the trees, played under the orchard, built little play fences around them. Built little play fences means they built a fences and playing under the trees, and took blossoms. Blossoms means flowers. They took flowers. They plucked flowers. They plucked fruits. They cut the branches of the trees. They are doing like this regularly. Why they were, when they were spoken to, They only laughed and talked back good naturally in Spanish when they spoken to them. Who spoken? When the American people, the owner of the land, spoken to the children. This is not good to overrunning our land. When they are trying to say like this, the children only laughed and speak good, very good in Spanish. They went. So American people came to office. Whose office? The storyteller office, author's office. They gave a complaint. They gave complaint on children. Children of Rio and Medio, they are regularly coming, overrunning to our property, and they are playing under the trees. They are plucking the flowers and fruits, and they are doing like this. So why don't you stop this? They came and gave to complaint to the author. What happened after? I sent a messenger up to the mountain spot Don Anselmo. It took a week to arrange another meeting. I sent a messenger to Don Anselmo. Who sent a messenger? Author sent a messenger. Here author is mediator between Don Anselmo and American people. Author is mediator. Uh, he is the person only causes up talking to the Don Anselmo and American people. He only caused up that the property is sold from Don Anselmo to American people. He is mediator. He is here. He only suggests Don Anselmo and American people. He is a mediator, and that's why he sent a messenger to Don Anselmo to ask him what is the weather about that. And it took another week to arrange a meeting. And after a week, another meeting was arranged. The meeting for that, American people gave a complaint. So he wanted to ask Don Anselmo. That's why they arranged the meeting. When he arrived, he repeated his previous preliminary performance. When Don Anselmo arrived to office, the meeting arranged, Don Anselmo arrived to office. He repeated his preliminary performance. Which are preliminary performance? How did he came at the meeting, at the first time meeting held there? How did he came that time? And now also he is coming in that manner. How? He wore the same faded cutaway. He wore the same faded cutaway, color faded cutaway, blue coat, and carried the same stick. Same stick which was worn out of the umbrella, and was accompanied by the boy again, who was the dark young boy, was always standing him. He also come with him. He shook hands all around and sat down with the boy behind his chair and talked about the weather. Don Anselmo came to meeting, and he shook all of us. Shook means he thanked all of us. He greeted all of us, and he take his seated. He sit on his chair, and a boy, dark young boy, was stand behind him. Finally, he broached the subject. Who broached? Author told the subject. Hands all down behind his chair and talked about the weather. Finally, I broached the subject. Don Anselmo, about the ranch you sold these people. Don Anselmo, about the land. Ranch means land. Don Anselmo, you sold your land to these people. Whom? American people. And they are good people and wanted to be good neighbors always. American people are very good people, and they wanted to become good neighbors for you always. When you sold them, you signed a document, a deed, and in that you agreed to several things. One thing was that they were have to the complete possession of the property. So when you sold your land, when you signed the document, when you signed the deed, that's you agreed that your all property belongs to them. So everything possession of your property belongs to American people who bought your land. That's one condition is you when you sign the document, that is proved. That's the law. But now, Don and Selmo, it seems that everyday children of the village over in the orchard and spend most of their time there. We would like to know if you, as the most respected man in the village, couldn't you stop from them doing in such order that these people might enjoy their new home more in peace? So, Don and Selmo, you have sold your land to the American people. They are good people. And when you sold your land, when you signed the document, that sign is all your property belongs to American people. But what happening today? The children of your village overrunning the American people's land. They are playing in there. They are plucking the flowers. They are plucking the fruits. They are overrunning in their property. Why? Why it is happening like this? So, if you are a most respected person in this village, why couldn't you stop the children? Why are you not allowing them to live in their own new house within peace? So you must stop the children. Please allow them to live peacefully in their new house. Author asked to Don Anselmo, why don't you stop the children? Why don't you allow them to live in peacefully in their new house? Don Anselmo, author, mediator, asked to Don Anselmo. Don Anselmo stood up. We have all learned to love these Americans, he said, because they are good people and good neighbors. We know very well we love to American people because they are good people and they are good neighbors. I know very well. I sold them my property because I know they were very good people, but I did not sell them trees in the orchard. Don Anselmo said, I sold my property, my land, my house, everything to the American people. They are good people. Because they are good people, that's why I sold my things. But one thing is, I did not sell my orchard. I sold my property, but I did not sell my orchard. This is the very different thing here. Strange sentence. Because he see here, this was bad, Don Anselmo, I pleaded. When one signs the deed and sells his real property, one sells also everything that grows on the land. And these trees, every one of them, are on the land and inside the boundaries of what you sold. And then author replied to Don Anselmo, Don Anselmo, this was very bad. Why? You sold your land. You signed the document. So whatever come under your land, whatever come boundaries of your land, inside the land, everything is belongs to the buyers. Everything is belongs to the American people because already you have sold, already you have taken money also. So those orchards, trees, everything, whatever come inside the land, they are all belongs to the American people. So completely your land is possession by American people at this time. So the orchard are not sold and trees are not sold. This is not good thing because everything is belongs to them. They bought the land from you already. Don Anselmo, author told to Don Anselmo. Yes, I admit that, he said. Yes, I admit that. Who admit? Don Anselmo agreed and he also admit. Yes, I sold my land, everything inside the land, everything is belongs to them. I know that. But he added, he told again, he added, I'm the oldest man in this village. Who is oldest man in this village? The old man. Don Anselmo is oldest man in this village. Which village? Rio in Medio. Almost everyone there is my relatives and all of my children of Rio and Medio are my sovereigns and nets, my descendants. So everyone in my village in Rio and Medio, everyone are my relatives. They are my brother's daughters and sons, everyone is, uh, everyone are my relatives. So, sovereigns and nieces means nephew and niece. Nephew and niece. They are my relatives. Descendants means everyone is my relatives. Every time a child has been born in Rio and Medio, since I took a possession of the child, since I took a possession of the house from my mother, I have planted a tree for the child. Whenever a child born in this village in Rio in Medio, since I took a possession, since I took a possession means a responsibility of the child to build, to plant a tree for that child. This responsibility I taken whenever a child born in this village in Rio and Medio, since I plant a tree, name of that child. So that tree belongs to the boy. This possession is this responsibility is I taken by me, and my mother also give me this responsibility to take to plant a tree, name of that newborn child. Whenever newborn child whoever born in this village, I plant a new plant on the name of that newborn child. The trees in that orchard are not mine. Senior means Mister. Mister, these trees are not mine. They belongs to the children of the village. Every person Rio and Medio born since this railroad come to Santa Fe owns a tree in that orchard. Mister, these trees are not mine. These trees are belongs to children. This orchard is belongs to children. Every person in Rio and Medio born since railroad came. Since railroad came in this place. Since railroad come. When the railroad happened in this place. When the railroad built in this place. Since from that, whoever child born in this village, I planted a tree on that children, on that child. So all the plants are, all the orchard is belongs to children. To Santa Fe owns tree in the orchard. Santa Fe owns means this is the name of the place. Santa Fe own in this place. Santa Fe owns in this place. Who were born in this place from the railroad. When happened railroad from that time, even today also, since that time even today also, whoever born in this child, whoever born in this village, Santa Fe village, I planted a tree on the name of that child. So the orchard is belongs to the children. The orchard is not mine. So I have no right to sell you orchard. Orchard is belongs to the children. I did not sell the trees because I couldn't. They are not mine. So Don Anselmo finally told that I could not have a right to sell orchard because the orchards are not me. The orchard is belong to children. That's why I have no right to sell the orchard. So they are not mine. They are children. They are belongs to children. Don Anselmo told. There was nothing we could do. Legally, we own the trees, but the old man has been so generous, refusing what amounted to a fortune for him. It took most of the following winter to buy trees individually from the descendants of the Anselmo in the valley of Rio and Medio. Yes, there was nothing good to do. Legally, if we think to legally, the orchard belongs to American people. If we think about legally, the orchard belongs to American people. But Don Anselmo is saying that the orchard is not mine; they are children. So I haven't a right to sell you. So legally is American people, but if they think about some mercifully and sympathy on Don Anselmo. He is a very good gentleman, great man, honest man, innocent person, because he didn't take money, additional money for additional uh, land, and he only took $1,200. So they think all about these things. That's why they agreed with him. Who agreed with him? The author and American people also agreed with him, with Don Anselmo, and they started buying trees from the children. They started buying trees from the children. They bought every trees from every individual children. It took whole winter season to buy whole orchard from the children. So finally American people bought the orchard from the individually from the children. So this is the lesson. So I have discussed whole lesson from first paragraph to 12th paragraph with you, and I hope you have understood the lesson and you are able to answer the questions.